The subject is English literature for the class 12th. The topic is poem. The name of the poem is Trees. The poem Trees was written by Emily Dickinson. Emily Dickinson was an American poetess. She was born in Amherst, Massachusetts, into a prominent family with strong ties to its community. She was born on 10th December 1830 and she was died on 15th May 1886. The other poems written by her were I Heard a Fly Buzz, A Bird Came Down the Walk, I Tasted a Liquid Never Beer, Wild Nights, etc. Introduction to the poem. The poet conveys her pleasure for nature and beauty through the poem. Tree is an ode to nature. She starts the appreciation of poem by describing the rhythmic breeze of the trees. She personifies the sun, as she says, when the sun rises, little creatures such as swans, bees, and gnats come out and fill the air with the noise of their tiny wings. First two stanzas, the trees like tassels hit and swung, there seemed to rise a tune from miniature creatures accompanying the sun, far sultries of summer, enamoring the ear. They never yet did satisfy, remotest when most fair. Ah, the music of the summer sultry, wind playing through leaves and branches, insects humming in the air, and birds gossiping. Add to that the panoply of clouds and flowers, plus the scent of flowers, and the carrying ons of the little creatures on the ground, and you have a pretty perfect summer day. In this completely charming poem, Dickinson makes her preference pretty clear for the glories of such a day over even the finest art of nature. Third and fourth stanza, the sun shone whole at intervals, then half, then utter hid, as if himself were optional and had estates of cloud, sufficient to tenfold him externally from view, except it were a whim of his to let the orchids grow. In this stanza, the poet says, she began from the trees. The morning winds have come up, buffeting the branches until the trees bend and swing like the tassels. One pulls to open a certain curtain or call the servants. As the sun rises, the air quiets, and miniature creatures such as bees and swarms of gnats come out, filling the air with the rapid beating of their tiny wings. The poet is enamored by the music, but note that it can never satisfy. It is a tease, most beautiful when out of reach, always leaving one wanting more. Fifth and sixth stanza, a bird sat careless on the fence. One gossiped in the lane. On silver matters charmed a snake, just winding round a stone. Bright flower slit a calyx, and soared upon a stem like hindered flags, sweet hoisted with species in the hem. Clouds sometimes cover the sun. Dickinson treats the sun if it were a monarch. He shines whole at times, while sometimes he is half or utter hid, as if he need not show himself at all. He has estates of cloud to shield him from the gaze of mere mortals. But just as the most reserved king will venture out for some pet fancy or other, so the sun has a whim to let the orchids grow. O generous sun! Dickinson then turns her attention to the earth. A couple of birds are lazing about, and a snake whispers his silver conversation as it slithers around a stone to find a spot of warmth. Seventh stanza, "'Twas more, I cannot mention, how mean to those that see Vanky's delineation of nature's summer day." In this stanza, the flowers also respond to the sun. Dickinson has them slitting open their calyxes, a wonderful image, as if so full of energy that they must burst out by force. Like flags eagerly raised by embattled troops, the flowers are hoisted up to soar on their stems, their petal hems full of spicy fragrance. A glorious summer day has even more riches, but the poet admits she cannot mention everything. She concludes the poem by saying that even a masterpiece by Sir Anthony Van Dyck would seem mean or shabby by comparison. Dickinson isn't quite playing fair here. Van Dyck was a portrait painter, so unless you really like Baroque portraits of nobility, you would have to agree with her. Question and answers from the poem Trees. First one, what imagery does the poet use to delineate summer's day more picturesquely than any painter could? The poet uses the imagery of sultry to delineate the summer's day more picturesquely than a painter could. The insects humming, the chirping birds, and the wind playing through the leaves all gives a musical beauty to this perfect summer day. The splendid display of flowers and clouds, along with the mesmerizing sense of flower, add to this perfect day's charm. Second one, what do you understand by Psalteries of Summer? Psalteries of Summer. It is the music of summer. It sounds so close to Psalm and Psalter, a book of psalms. There is a connection of spiritual and religious presence. In which creatures the characters are attributed with human qualities. Snakes and birds are the creatures that are attributed with similar human qualities. How would you explain the image of the hindered flags? Hindered flags would be flags that are hidden or obstructed. In this case, I think she means more accurately flowers that have yet to blossom. Additionally, it is meant to call into the image of a country and patriotism. Why are the pronouns referring to the sun capitalized? The circumstances refer to the present situation of the poet, wherein the poet is absorbed by the painful memories of past by looking at the old photograph of her mother. Moral: in every walk in with nature, one receives far more than he seeks. Thank you.